Okay, guys. So, what, Luke? All right. So homework is. Oh, what the heck? Homework is due tomorrow. It's exercises. Did I already look at them? No, I don't think I looked at them yet. I looked at 6 or 10. We might look at 6 or 10 today to get some practice on it. We'll do that on Thursday. I'm probably just gonna like drill verbs with you guys. Just like put a single verb form on the board and just drill that. Okay. Chapter 20 vocab quiz. So the vocabulary for this chapter, you will be assessed on that on Friday. All right. Remember, chapter 20 is not a big deal. We get the fourth declension, big whoop. The weird thing about the fourth declension is long US's could be genitive, singular, or plural subject or direct object. Well, it's a lot of use in general, but the long US is the thing you need to actually be freaked out about. I mean, it's not that bad. It's like with AE, the thing we had to do with AE back in the first declension, where if the nominative plural is a genitive singular or the dative singular, it's just as many options, but it's in different spots. The accusative, though, that's like really easy. The ablative, of course, it's just be a long U looked up. Dative, yeah, if you're used to third declension having the long I in the dative, then that's not too bad. The nominative, it's kind of like second declension style. It's just like you need to look for the macron. If there's no macron over the US, then it's nominative singular, and that's it. But if there's a macron over the US, it's one of three things. That's crazy. Ibis, that's old now. And again, like dative and genitive plural are not hard insofar as you know your third declension pretty well, right? We have two neuter ones technically, so if they show up with just the U, they could be any of the singular forms that besides genitive singular. But we'll see the word horn and knee a couple of times. Those are the only neuter ones. They're mostly normal in the plural forms, so they're getting A instead of long US. So it's actually, in that way, it's kind of easier that long US on a neuter fourth declension means just genitive singular. But don't think too much about the neuters, because they're not gonna. I mean, how many sentences can you have with the word horn or knee in them? Knee or horn? Okay. All right. Let's see. It was an unfortunate sequence of words. Now I got tricked. The text is that okay? We'll talk more about. I need to make a better slide on separation. It's just gonna be showing up a little bit here and there with certain verbs. Correo, guys. Please know correo. It'll be on the quiz on Friday. It means to lack. The thing that whoever is lacking, whether it's I, you, it, we, or they, I'm getting back on track, is an ablative of separation. I'll make a better graphic to review that soon. Okay, let's talk about this. Why does it keep freezing? It must be still paused on this. I think that's what it is. Okay. Yes, that's what is happening. I see. Okay, to me, this was very straightforward, but I can see where you guys are still having problems with this admittedly very new thing that is the perfect passive forms of verbs. So what's this first part? Anyone? Rome ab Caesara victa est. I had some people not even knowing this was coming from Winka Winkera. That's you rushing too much. I glossed Winka Winkera right below the sentence, and so both of the verbs are coming from Winka Winkera. So I don't feel too bad if you thought it was a totally different verb. It is to conquer. But what? Who can put that together? Rome is the subject. That should be pretty clear. It's like Rome, the city of the empire. Lucy? Yes, Rome has been or was conquered by Caesar. Okay, I'm realizing some people translated this as though it was present passive. I actually totally get that. Some people said Rome is captured. That totally makes sense because est is, right? When est is by itself, it means is. So your logic is probably that's is, and this could mean captured, which is kind of true. So you translate it as is conquered. But that would be winketur. That would be the old present passive form that we got in chapter 18. If it's in two chunks like that, it's going to either be has been or was verb for perfect passive, had been verb for pluperfect passive, or will have been verb future perfect passive. Super rare. That probably will never show up. But yeah, it needs to be past tense. It needs to be one of our ways of making it in the past. That isn't had, because that's pluperfect, but if it was erat. But y'all get why. Does that maybe explain what happened for some of you guys? Y'all are looking at what you did. If you said is conquered, which I know some of y'all did, I get it. I get it. Because est is usually is. So why wouldn't you think? Oh, you're off to a great start, Sarah. It's so good that you're learning the sentence you struggled with so much yesterday. What?
Okay, first of all, can I?
Yes. Even though this is the worst. Okay, who cares? Wasn't it Keaton? I think it was Keaton or someone. I deserve that. Who did really good on the spot translation. Didn't you, Keaton? What did you say? Did I make that up?
No, the other thing I got wrong, I put is instead of was. I put Rome was captured by Caesar. We have been captured by the love.
We have, yeah. So I don't think those rules are. Did y'all forget nos is we? Nos doesn't usually show up. Just the verb will tell you that we is the subject by being first person plural. But yeah, it's like we. So it's like whereas Rome has been captured by Caesar, we have been. It's still perfect passive captured by. And this I guess it's a little weird by the love of Rome. So Rome is like possessive of love. That is the ablative of means. I technically probably shouldn't have put the ab in there, but I just like why not? It'll help them. So whereas Kaisar is an ablative of agent, he's the one doing the conquering with this passive verb. Love is the thing doing the conquering with this passive perfect verb. But they're both perfect passive. Why are they different? Let's like discuss that really quickly. Remember, the participle part of the verb that will kind of reflect the subject it's going with in a pretty straightforward adjective kind of way. So it's picking up the feminine nominative singular a from Roma. Whereas the T, that long I, that is just because I guess this we is like a masculine we. I could have done like a neuter long A or something, or just A. But yeah, it's just reflecting that nos is like a plural kind of thing, but it still needs to be nominative plural, so that's why it's long I. And then sumus is like going with nos. Like it needs to be first person plural. In the same way this needed to be third person singular, because Rome is just like an it. Whereas we were like a first plural kind of thing. Any questions about this? So remember, when these verbs are in two chunks, that is a new chapter 9 thing. And as long as assume essa form is in the present, it's just perfect passive. It's a was verbed or has been verbed. Is how you take that. And we need to distinguish, and we'll drill this on Thursday like crazy. You need to distinguish it from the present passive and the future and imperfect passive. With those first three tenses of passive, they're like just a single form, right? These guys, those are endings, like it's stuck on the end of the verb to make it like, you know, I am verb, you are verb, it is verb, we are verb, I was verb, you were verb, it was verb, I will be verb, you will be verb, etc. Whereas this is I was verb, so technically the same as imperfect, because perfect and imperfect are all the same. Pluperfect is like I had been verb, you had been verb, and then this is we will have been verb. But all of those three perfect tense ones, they're in the two parts, okay? And so that should be something that helps you like identify them. All right, was this the other sentence? And y'all could have done this one. So people are still, okay, I don't know how to prompt y'all. I'm still like figuring out how like I want you to be able to tell me something is ablative of agent or means, but I don't know how to prompt you without, like that's why I was doing that weird thing where it's like type of insert case here. Because I'm asking like what kind of ablative it is without giving away that it's ablative. But I still have people telling me something is like the object of a preposition or object of a or of. But what I'm looking for with, at least for this one, is that quo is an ablative of agent. It's referring back to the judge, so it's like a person. Whereas labora is ablative of means because it's just a thing. And this is perfect passive, whereas this is present passive. So has been prepared versus is overcome. All right, that's a difference there. I think I did pretty good with that, but at least some of y'all like translated them the same way. They are both passive. It involves a subject getting verb, but it's like the helping verbs you use have to change. So has been or was prepared, you know, make it past tense versus is overcome present. For this one, I wanted y'all to tell me that he was an ablative agent. These were the subjects. The word orders were really like y'all did different like takes on the sentence in terms of word order. But as long as you knew this was perfect passive and this was pluperfect, so had been sent versus has been praised. Any questions? 1.5 kids especially, where y'all at with all this? How are y'all feeling about it? Braden, how do you did pretty good, right? So you're kind of crushing. Listen.
I just have a hard time with pronouns. That's my thing.
Well, yeah, y'all got that should probably be the worst thing for you guys because y'all got accelerated around chapter 11 when we get all the personal pronouns like ego, I, they, me, you, stuff like that. And then I'm on chapter 13 with them right now, where you get reflexive pronouns, where you find out sometimes may is not translated as me, but instead as myself, if like the subject is I. So yeah, y'all got kind of, yeah, pronouns are hard. What is it? So, but y'all, we slowed down in time for the pronouns that are showing up here, right? Qui's still hard, but It's really just, it's like, is it going to be who or which or that? It kind of depends on, is it going to be referring back to a person or a thing? And we'll see some of that today in our readings.
So like you can tell which is if it's like
That's true, yeah, because this a quo, that tells us it's like going to be a whom, it's going to be a person. Because, yeah, unlike my sentence, like I wasn't supposed to put a with Omora since it's not a person, unless I was talking about Cupid, in which case I'd make the A capitalized. But yeah, that's true. That kind of gives it away. Whereas this qui, that's referring, well, oh, okay, it only gets a if it's ablative. This qui is nominative. Remember, qui, quite, quad can be any case they want to be. We'll practice that a little more today. So we were around here. The apple said 2 or 4, the fairest or most beautiful. We're taking bellissimi as like fairest. To whom should the apple be given? Y'all, or at least some of y'all put that together on the spot yesterday. So cui in general is always to whom. I guess it could be to which if it was referring to a person. But obviously here we're talking about like the 3 different goddesses. To whom should, that's what Tibet always seems to be, the apple, that's the actual subject, be given. Actually, okay, making Malam red, it shouldn't actually, it's not a direct object. It's a nominative. But yeah, be given because Dari there is passive infinitive. It's not to give, it's to be given. Cammy? Yep. To Juno, to Venus, to Minerva, even Jupiter himself. This is another pronoun you 1.5 kids kind of gloss over way too quickly. But they're not bad, these intensive pronouns. They usually just intensify the thing next to them with like, it's either going to be him, her, or itself. In this case, it's going to be himself because it's next to Jupiter. So even Jupiter himself fears to make the judgment. All right, so that's not too bad. Not too much new grammar there. Any questions? Okay, itaque ad paradim, filium regis Trojani, illi tre dei laniet. So, and so, what does ad mean, anyone? Yeah, it's actually of. So X day and ab are all from, ad is to. So that is tricky that ab is from and ad is to, and also ab can be by. Ab is by or from, ad is to though. So to Paris, who is Paris? He is the son, Regis Trojani. Anyone? Do some comments and some context.
King of Troy.
Oh, yeah. The king of Troy, because what case are Regis and Trojani, Cammy? Yeah, and so to Paris, the son of the king of Troy, illi tre dei laniet. Is it those or these 3 goddesses come? Anyone? Those are these, and it's illi. Yeah, it's those. Yep, remember if a person is ill, you're far away from them, and so you use words like that or those to refer to them, or hikakak, the Latin word hik means here. Hikakak are things closer to you that are here. You'd use this or these to refer to things that hik and hike.
if someone's ill, you stay far away from them.
Right. And you'd refer to them as like, oh, that sick person over there who I don't want to get next to. Yeah, that's the closest I've come to a satisfying mnemonic for illid. So they, let's see, Wayne, it's actually just present. Why did I make it purple? Yeah, that's a straight up present. What are you doing? Mr. Calno. What an idiot. Present. So it shouldn't be purple, but I'll make them still be purple. Okay. All right. Okay. Person. Oh, care adolescens. Cara means. It's an adjective used to refer to someone in a letter. It's the only time we use this word. Yeah, dear. Like, dear so-and-so. For some reason, letters are still trapped in the 19th century in terms of the kind of expectations for style that they employ. Oh, dear youths, they say. Or it's just youth, singular. So this is like one of the goddesses talking to Paris. Oh, dear youth, they say. Quis nostrum tua sententia bellissima est. So what is this quiz? Anyone? What is this quiz? Cammy, Carly, or Sarah? What do y'all think that's going to be? Quiz. Yeah, maybe who? Who? Nostrum? Because like knowing the story a little bit can help us, right? The goddesses are like getting him to choose between them. So nostrum, it's got this like possessive thing. Chloe? Exactly, yeah. So they're gonna say who blank us, who nostrum, who of us, or like which. I guess you don't say like which of us. Let's say who of us, like yeah. Tua sententia all by itself. What do we do with that? Sententia can be like opinion. So it's who of us. Tua sententia with no preposition. It's not what it means. With your opinion? No. Anyone? What preposition can we apply there to make it make sense? Make it make sense. Who of us? Well, let's come back to Tua sententia. Is bellissima is the most fair. But they're saying like who Tua sententia. What preposition, anyone? Just be creative. Think of. Well, that's what Tua means. It's not a preposition. In your opinion, in who of us in your opinion is the most beautiful? Right? What else am I saying? It's a small enough class so I can always speak aloud when I ask open-ended questions. Who or which of us, in your opinion, be the most fair? Magnum donum tibi parabitur. Okay, oh my gosh. So what kind of donum, y'all? Like a Christmas gift. Yeah, a great gift. We'll come back to Tibi, but parabitur can say Callie or Prudence. Show me the tense. And it looks like it's third person to go with gift. But what tense and voice is it? The tense is voice. If I'm asking about voice, it's probably not active. It must be. Yep. Remember, guys, passive voice. That's what I ask about. I don't really ask about active. That happened on the quiz still. Some people tell me active. So it's passive. What tense is it? A bitor. B-I. Good. So it's a great gift. What helping verb do we use to make something future? Will. And now let's make it passive, not active, not prepare. The gift's not going to prepare anything. The great gift will be prepared. Very good. Yeah. Will be prepared. Tibby? Who it going to be? It's not, Tibby here is not an ablative of agent. It's not like it's not prepared by you. It's prepared for you. Yeah. So Tibby is usually to you, but every once in a while the data can actually take for as its preposition. A great gift will be passive verb for you. Now we're going to find out who it is prepared by. Ob ea dea. Ea is just like Hawk or Illa here. By what? By that or this goddess. Whom, quam, whom, and they tell us this is kind of like Lego Legora, not to read, but more like to choose. So whom you choose. Okay, why did I bring this up? Oh, I guess just to show y'all. The future passes, they're pretty straightforward to identify, at least right now. It's going to change slightly, but other than the BE one, they all get the BI, except the bunt cake one. But that's what like we expect that exception, whereas the second person singular we're going to do. Will be prepared for you by the goddess, by the ablative of agent. I shouldn't have given it away, but that is the ablative agent. By this or that goddess. I would rather say whom. Let's change it to whom. Whom you choose. Whom. Okay. Any questions on that? I'm using different greens because we have two ablative phrases. All right. I want to get to some of the new sentences. Quim paris elegant. It is verbing to choose. What do y'all think this means? It's like just a question the narrator is asking at this point. Cora, Elena, Luke, what do y'all think? Quim paris elegant. Parker.
Who chooses Paris?
Not who chooses Paris. It's kind of weird. The word order is weird, but like Quim is accusative. Cammy? Yeah, but we want to use whom actually. Whom do? Oh, wait, why? No, don't do that. Don't do you choose. Whom does Paris choose? Yeah, weird. It's definitely not second person. There's this weird thing that can happen with these interrogative sentences where like technically Quim is accusative, so it's a direct object, but it's like gonna come first. It's like who does the subject verb? Questions are the only time in English that a direct object can happen like before a subject and a verb. Which direct object will the subject verb? Like in a declaration, a statement, it's like the subject verb this direct object. Quo dono. what casus quo dono, and can anybody like assume what preposition we might add to it? They look like they're going together. So what's that gonna be, anyone? Quo dono. Adrian Keaton, who's still on Super Smash Bros. Illegally and should be put in actual jail, like actual jail.
I'm on Animal Crossing. Restarted my island, okay? And on the wrong villager moved out, so I'm proud of that.
Look, if I was a principal, I probably would be like, hey, look, kids, y'all can like low key have a lighthearted game like Animal Crossing going, but you have to like also be present. You have to be
I have to have like more than
Yeah, we can have fun.
right. Like that kind of. I kind of get that, but also it's like school really it is good that it's an opportunity to unplug. And I'm saying this as a person, unplugging wasn't a thing till I was in high school. But all people in the 20s and 30s talk about is like feeling addicted, like they're addicted to their phone. So y'all in school right now, it's like a chance for you to like have time where you're not on your phone or a video game. And I know that sounds like a corny boomer sentiment, but it is like real. Like you don't want to.
It's kind of like weird how like my mom, she constantly complains about how we spend too much time, like how our generation spends too much time.
But old
Like,
people do it
oh,
too.
Teens got
It's
two
like,
phones.
oh, you guys spend too much time. It's like, Mom, can I see how long you
You
spent
never
on
played
Facebook?
Game
Yep. It happened to old people too. Like, yeah, no one's like innocent of this except people who like live in the jungle or something. All right. So the spirit Eudicus from Eudex Eudicus. So spirit what? Cora?
By what gift will the soul of his be moved?
Pretty much by which gift? You can say what gift, I guess. But yeah, so that's what I was getting at. That we're gonna whip out by just because we're seeing an ablative showing up. I'm just assuming that it's gonna be like by which gift. You don't need to know that. You can just start with which gift and like go from there. But it's gonna end up being by which gift. But anyway, this actual subject is like the spirit. Whose spirit? The spirit. Of the judge. Yeah. If you're looking at this dictionary entry, there's no reason for you to not know that that's genitive, right? It is a relatively new word. But if it's from Eudex Eudicus, and here it is as Eudicus, that's genitive. So the spirit of the judge. This is the same tense and voice as a verb we saw a little while ago. So Avery, Chloe, or Alyssa. What is it? The spirit of the judge. What tense and voice?
Future.
Mhm. Passive. So the spirit of the judge, not is, will be moved. Yeah, but it's a question. So it's like, it's not. It's like the spirit of the judge will be moved by which gift. You only know for sure that you need to put by with which gift after you realize what kind of sentence this is, which is it's one with a passive verb. And when you have passive verbs, you often have these ablative of means or agent where there's a by applied to it if the off or of is not actually there. So by which gift will the spirit of the judge be moved? Now they're going to tell us what the gifts are. Y'all probably ever like heard a version of this before. Juno, because that's Juno. She protests. What does that mean?
Is able to.
Yeah, is able or just can. Yeah, make. She can make him a Regan king. Juno can make him a king. Minerva can make him a dukedom. A leader, yeah, a leader. So I think in most versions it's like a general, like that's like her promise in most versions. Like Minerva can give him like military power because she's like a war goddess. Juno can make him a king, and then of course, what can Aphrodite make him? Yeah, a husband of technically, apparently the fairest woman of Greece or whatever. So, and it kind of corresponds to like Juno's a marriage goddess. I don't know why. I guess maybe because she's married to the king of the gods or something. But Aphrodite is like the goddess of love and beauty. So Venus, however, Ati is a dative third person personal pronoun. Don't overthink it. But if it's dative, what pronoun can we whip out for it? You give direct objects blank. Yeah. So like Venus, however, to him, Helen, who is Helen? She's Bellissimum Omnium Feminarum. She is the fairest of all women. Yeah. So Omnium is third declension genitive, Feminarum is first declension genitive plural, but they're both genitive plural. So let's like actually put it together. Something about Venus, however, to him, Helen, the most beautiful of all women, can give. Okay, that's what it is. She can give to him, Helen, the fairest of all women. Our verbs are at the end as they usually are, but they're more comfy in our translation, kind of like after Venus. Yeah, don't forget posthum posse just means to be able to. If it's present tense, it's can. If it's past tense, it's good. All right. Okay, we knew that. We already knew that that was the plot. Paris, victus est amora. So he like I don't know if like Aphrodite gives him a vision of this woman, but apparently it works because very quickly Paris not is victicid, but remember this is actually perfect passive. So Paris was conquered. It's actually perfect passive, even though S sometimes means is. I know Paris was conquered amora by love, and she looks dated there. And to Venus, this is just the perfect version of Dojar. He not gave a Malam Auriga. Gave a what, Cora? Just say what. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he gave a golden apple. He was conquered by love, and he gave Venus or to Venus a golden apple. And so, I don't like this next part, so I won't even dwell on it. If it is certain, the fame of these deeds, like, I guess they're saying if these deeds, the fame of these deeds is true, then Helen copta et. Oh, okay, this is weird. So we have a compound perfect passive verb happening. Copta, it's not like concluded until you go all the way to the line to S and you duck to S. So first she's copta S, not is captured, but Helen was captured. And to a new novum, like Nova Scotia, New Scotland, a new locum. Huh? Yeah, basically no location, probably the same place. To a new place called Troy, she not is ducta, but was led. Good. Okay, so that's actually worth looking at. Do y'all see that happening here? Because of the Copta, I almost thought it was a typo for a second, like that was supposed to be S here, but it's like Copta doesn't get its little sum essa buddy until you get to the end of the sentence. You ducta sum essa buddy, but it's like applied to both of them. So we do have this compound perfect passive verb. Not is captured and is led, but was or has been captured. This is perfect passive. If it was is captured and led, that would be like copiator, I guess, and ducator, right? With just like the present passive third singular ending. Okay. All right. Quod bellum gestum est propter estum. This is a cheeky little question. We don't know the answer. Quod bellum, they go together. Luke? Kind of what war? Not so much whose war. What? Yeah, which war is a touch better than what? Which war gestum est, another verb, not is waged, was or has been waged. Cora?
Because of that woman.
Yeah, because of or on account of that woman. And that's like a stupid, it's like, oh, it was her fault. It was Helen's fault because she was offered as a bargaining chip by a goddess, like an uncaring goddess, just like propped her up as like, oh, I'll give you a human prize, a human as a trophy. Yeah, it's totally Helen's fault and not Paris or Venus's. Yeah. Wait, what about?
Can I move the
Oh, I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we got all of our passes. We got all of our actives. All of those. It's great. All right, let's do a few sentences from the exercises. Like just like 3 or 4, then maybe I'll let y'all work on homework. Or like actually work on homework. Okay. Quibus generibus. Just seeing quibus generibus. Ganus generis is like type or kind. What do y'all think quibus generibus? This is a question. So what do y'all think that is? What? Let's try not to use what. Quid is more like what. What's okay, but like what's a little Carly? Yeah, like which type. And maybe we'll end up needing to, like we did with a sentence a couple times ago, like add by, like by which type. But for right now, all we know is like which type. Scalarum is weird. That's from Scalus scalaris. What case? If this is from Scalus scalaris, I need this thing to never show up ever again in my entire life. I want it to be gone forever. No, this thing though. Okay. Guys, if Ganus generis is third declension, what the heck kind of ending? I'm sorry, Scalus scalaris is third declension. Scalarum. What case is that? Anyone? This is hard though. This is third declension. Y'all showed me y'all mostly know the third declension, but this is like still hard. Allie first and Lucy.
That's genitive.
Yeah, singular or plural, Lucy. No, it's actually plural. That's that awful plural one. So it's the UM here, that orange UM. I really don't like it. But yeah, it's like which types what? Sclerum. All of evil deeds. And it's like really redundant. It's like it's not just evil deeds, it's like wicked evil deeds. Here sinister is being used not as like left or left-handed, but it's like wicked and it's just redundant. Which type of wicked evil deeds? Something about what that or those or these two citizens. Anyone? It's those, yeah, because an ill person is further, so there's those people over there. Those two citizens. Oh, here's our actual verb. We can maybe get the thing working together like a proper sentence. Deleo deleri is to destroy. So who have I not picked on? So Braden or maybe Dan. This is not, well, what is this? It's perfect passive. So it's by which type of evil, wicked deeds help, and then we need a helping verb. So blank those two citizens.
Okay.
But how would we take this? I'm asking this badly. It's not is destroyed, but anyone? Was or has been. So the reason I failed to ask Dan that question in a satisfying way is because with a question, remember the word order in English always like shifts a lot when it's a question. Helping verbs often need to like come out in the sentence like really early when it's a question. So you always need the have or the was very quickly. If I'm using have, so it's a weird thing where have is in front of the subject, then been, the second helping verb, is after. So if you just say was, like which type of evil, wicked deeds were those two citizens destroyed, and then we're still missing something, right? Was destroyed. Anyone? Lucy? Exactly, yeah. The way I just said it, it's like we could you could try to say by at the end, but that's what people is that what people mean when they're like don't end a sentence in a preposition? Yeah, because that sounds really bad. Which type of evil deed were those two citizens destroyed by? Like that's not horrible, but it is a little clunkier than by which type of evil, wicked deed have those two citizens, or were those two citizens just? No, yeah, I think we have to use has, or else like you want to stick that by at the end still, like a second time. I don't know. Questions are hard. Like you have to like really have mastered your verbs to translate Latin questions successfully, because like the helping. I have that. I should go find it where it's like use am, is, are, or do or does for present. If you're asking a question, like does the subject verb. Use was and were for imperfect, will for future, has and have for perfect, have for blue, will and have for future verb. Qui mortalis. This is kind of this gives me deja vu. Making the slide, I was like, okay, this is definitely where we started back in August with this class. It was kind of weird, but we're about to push past this part. But I remember this sentence. Like this was like on one of y'all's translation quizzes. Qui mortalis. I went through the Latin textbook multiple times. I actually failed out of Latin class because I didn't want to ride my bike all the way to the building I was in one year. So I was like, oh, I'll just like drop that class and like retake it the next semester. And the next semester is when I got into it, so it actually worked out. But what I'm trying to say is going through Wheelock's like twice is actually really good. Qui mortalis. What do y'all think that is? Mortalis is mortal. So y'all have to guess. We might be using it like a noun here. Which mortal? These don't look like they're going together as much as like Quibus generibus. I'm like, oh yeah, they're definitely both ablative or dative. These, it's like, they're technically the same case number and gender. They don't feel like it. They're just nominators. Which mortal? Where's my verb? Oh, here's a verb. Which mortal? What's? Can. Yeah, let's just say can for present and possum. Can, Essa? Be, yeah, that's a weird infinitive, but that's a compliment here. Can be beatus? Not beautiful. Everyone thinks this is beautiful. Happy. Is it sounding familiar now? Which mortal can be happy? Sine amicitia without friendship, or without like honesty. And then the beneficio is kind of or kindness in others. I don't know why kindness in others. Yeah, now do y'all remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even finish. Oh, well, there it is. So amicitia, probitate, and beneficio are ablatives of anyone? They're going with sine a little bit. Wait, but these are actually weird. I guess they're not ablatives of separation, so never mind. Don't answer that question. All right, let's do like one or two more. Maybe I'll leave you alone. The father. Where's my verb? Where's my verb? Braden or Elena or Adrian. The father does what? Where's my first verb? Something about dad. But then what? No? We have move, but that's an infinitive, so I must have something before move, which is, or like after. Koiperat, which is what tense, Prudence? Koiperat with the ERA. Koipe is weird in that it's always perfect. It's stuck in the perfect system. It's either perfect, plu, or future. What is that one? Yeah, this is plu. So it's the father, what? Something begun? Had begun. And then we get move, Elena. Had begun to move. Let's go back up for a direct out. So had begun to move. Pecuniam, money from Greece in suam patrium,
His own country.
into, someone said into, I think it was into his own country. Yeah, don't freak out about sua sum, X 1.5 kids. It just means his, her, or its own, depending. Here it's going to be his own. That thing comes back up. But I also noticed that if you watch the video, these things are invisible. Like, this is always invisible. So sometimes I'm, like, talking about it in the video, and the kids are probably like, what is he talking? He's, like, hallucinating. Suis, it's always his own. Reflexive possessive adjectives. I'm surprised that was even a thing that we had to learn. It's like, oh, you put own at the end of something to make it kind of reflexive. And even the word reflexive is like needlessly confusing to kids. But I think of it as like an actual mirror. It's just like reflecting that the subject is like being made redundant almost, because the subject is like being referenced again. In this case, the father's own money. Like it would be the same thing if you took out own, but I guess I get the nuance. Into his own country for the family. Cupio, anyone, is to desire, or like to wish. Yeah, he desired. It's perfect tense. And this is a verb I don't think y'all are used to. He desired to depart, which is glossed down there. So Cupio takes an infinitivo. Any questions on this one? There's nothing really new here. So just waste y'all's time with that one. Aquibus. Anyone? Ignore the weird circle over the A. Well, maybe let's just tackle our verb first. Neglectum s. It's from negleo, neglegra to neglect. It should be pretty clear, but I want Keaton, Luke, Bailey, or Callie to tell me how to translate neglectum est.
They are neglected.
Not is neglected. I know you're seeing the s and you're thinking is like present tense.
Were neglected.
You can use where, well, it helps to know the subject. We don't even know what our subject is here, but it looks like it's going to be a third person thing, like a he, she, or it. So he or she not is neglected, but make it was, works, or has been. Because what tense is it, everyone out loud? What tense? Perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. It is passive. You know it was passive, but you're kind of like treating it like it was present passive. So something is like has been neglected or was neglected. And then maybe, and now, how do you think we start Aquibus? What? Yeah. Anyone? Aquibus? Yeah, maybe from which, but probably by which. Or ob is usually going to be by when the verb is passive. Like, it's going to be the thing that's actually verbing. So by which, what is this one? By which, or maybe it's like by who, but it's plural. Kind of weird. By who has, what is the subject? What is the thing being neglected? Anyone? What do you think the subject is, Avery or Prudence? We're still not totally sure about Quibus. Sadie, what do you think the subject is? Don't overthink it. Yeah, maybe the studio. Yeah, so like by who, I guess, has, because we do need to get our helping verbs going like really quickly. The study, what kind of study? Difficilium? What does that mean? Anyone out loud? Yeah, it's difficult. And then artium? That's from Ars Artis. What case is it though, Parker? From Ars Artis. Yeah, it's genitive. So it's like the study, the difficult study. Yeah. So by who has the difficult study of art been neglected? Eo tempora, anyone? Something about this or that time? What preposition can we add to this or that time to make it sound like in English? We don't want to say, by who was the difficult study of art neglected that time? Yeah, maybe not by. At, yeah, at that time or this time. Exactly. That's just ablative of time when. Don't freak out about AO. It's the same as Coke or Illa. or anything like that. It's just demonstrative. Yeah. Okay, I'm saying by whom. Okay. All right. So that's technically an ablative of means or agent. Anyone? Agents. Yeah. I should have used my pointer. That would be cool. All right. Where? Last one. Actual last one, and y'all have a full 5 minutes to work on homework. Y'all crushed it. Good job. Where? Okay, so I see Delectati Sunt here, but I see Lecti Sunt first. That's from Lego Legora. Let's have Sadie or Avery or Alyssa tell us. What do we do? This means to read. Lego Legora means to read. So it's like where, and then let's Lecti Sunt. It's perfect passive. So let's where. Huh? Not active, not actively reading something. It's just present. No. Huh? I heard have, no? Avery? Yeah, it's gonna be has or have been read or were read. But these are questions, so it's like translating perfect passive keying on top of like its question. That just makes it just like cranks it up. So on Thursday, I'll show you all more examples that like are outside of a question. That just makes everything weird. So it's like where has, since that's gonna be the helping verb we would use for, or like where were. You say were. Where were verses, shut up after. Where were verses read, right? It has to happen to the subject, right, Sadie? So that's why it's not like don't think about like will or anything like it's not future, it's just perfect passive. So you just need to make sure that the verb is happening to the subject, which in this case it turns out to just be verses, so like lines of poetry. Where have the lines of poetry been verbed, been read, Luke? Shut up. And it's the verses Ilias Octorus. Anyone? Y'all start talking over the class as soon as Miss Grenier leaves. Is that what you're going to do? That's what we're doing here?
They didn't
Wow.
talk for 5 seconds.
Where have the verses? Anyone? What case is Ilias Octorus? All of that